because I love animals and I have 3 animal shelters. I bought it already red with black in it, so I didn't know what it was.
Probably from an artificial bird. Did you ever go to any kind of acting school?
Not in the beginning. I started on a talk show, you know.
But when a young actress says, how do you succeed in this business, you don't always say you have to study.
I think you should study. Study, work, and then maybe you can make it.
Can I ask you something?
Certainly.
Who gives a fuck what you think?
This is it, Jennifer. Your big breaking TV. Welcome to prime time, bitch.
Welcome to Fly By Films. My name is the Crypt Keeper. Just kidding. No, it's Blake. And my co-host is Jamison Barsotti.
Dr. Barspoopy.
Oh, is it Spoopy? Is it Dr. Barspoopy or is it Dr. Barspooky?
I think you changed it to Dr. Barspoopy.
I'm surprised.
I can't see. I'm Dr. Barspooky.
I can't see either. I try not to use my glasses if I can help it.
Blake, but you're wearing your glasses right now.
Oh shit. I shouldn't have had that last beer. No, this is Fly By Films, and we are here to talk about film, not movies. Film. These are the heights of cinematic experience.
And that is, yes, we're going for the highest highs.
Yeah, the highest of highs. And we don't mean CBD or dispensaries. We're talking about the cinematic high. The joy of watching cinema.
Yeah. Cinematic highs are kind of like runner's highs, but you are running in place while watching a movie.
Exactly. And sometimes you hit a wall and you kind of have to push through it.
Well, that's when you forget you're running in place and you actually run into the wall.
That is true. Yeah, that happens sometimes.
You got to remember to stay in place. That's the hardest part about running in place.
The way I look at that is, I think it's actually a perfect analogy, the runner's high, because runners also run into a sometimes literal wall, but also a proverbial wall. And I feel like the last 2 films that we've watched have been a wall that we've had to push through to get to the cinematic joy. Is today's film going to be the moment that we finally get to the other side of the wall?
So what I hear you saying is that we've hit a plateau as far as cinema is going.
I mean,
we're at, I would even go so far as to say we're at a cinematic valley. We are in a plateau that we descended into. So
yeah, it was a really low plateau. It was pretty low. It was almost like a dried up river.
Yeah, dried up river is a good analogy.
So, yeah. So Jamison,
Blake.
Nowadays, I know we've talked about what we feared when we were younger, but nowadays, what actually scares you? Like existentially, what do you dread?
Existential dread. I mean, I fear not being useful. Like, so I was unemployed from August 2020 for about 10 months, and that tore me apart. So, pardon me. If we're talking about like true existential dread, like there is a part of me that like I need to be useful. I need to feel like I'm a part of society and stuff like that. And when I don't, that really like bothers me. And that's something I'm working on too, because I don't love that about
Hmm.
my mind.
Yeah.
Um, but I would say other than that, like planes scare the crap out of me. Um,
So you're not a good flyer.
no, I think I'm good at that because it bothered me that I was scared of it, and so I've like gotten used to it and I know how to fly. But the whole idea of traveling through the air in a metal tube scares the
Yeah.
shit out of me. Like it doesn't make sense. It breaks all logic of comfort and safety in my
Hmm.
mind. Like
Yeah.
anything about that. And so like when I'm up there, I have to just do so much back work in my mind thinking like this is statistically sound. People do this every day. Okay, it's fine. Like this is I almost have to use kind of inductive reasoning to say I am going to arrive safely.
Yeah.
Thousands of people have arrived safely before this day, hundreds of thousands of people already. I'm going to be one of them. It's fine.
Hmm.
And and that helps get me through, but it just doesn't feel natural at all. And so when I'm up there, I'm thinking about how that would be the worst way to die, too. I mean, there's worse ways to die, sure, but it would just be terrible and inescapable if the plane was to all of a sudden go down, right?
Yeah. As far as I know, the stats still stand that you're safer in a plane than in a car. Is that right? Or has that changed lately?
I think that, I mean, that's right, but that's because, I mean,
The
it
stats are
doesn't make it,
liars. It's
no,
okay.
no,
You can
it's,
just say statistics are a bunch of lies. It's
but
fine.
that's how I make my money is off of stats.
Well,
So
of
I can't.
course. I mean, we all
Uh,
make money off of stats. It's called the algorithm.
yeah, I'm just turning stats, for cash. No, the stats are there, but there are a lot of things that are different. Like we don't just give, 16-year-olds pilot licenses and
That's
things
true.
like that. So, of course, it's going to be more highly regulated and safer in that way. But I think what gets to me is if something goes wrong, like if I get into a car accident, I'm probably not going to die. Like
Yeah.
there's so many other car accidents that are non-lethal that you have some sort of control over. If the plane goes down, you're fucked. You're going to die. Like that's the inescapability of of your demise in the event of something going outside of the tightly regulated zones
Hmm.
is what scares me. And I think like yes, the stats are there and I use those stats to say like it's going to stay in that zone. It's going
Yeah.
to be in this, it's tightly regulated. It's going to be in this safety zone. And I do use that to like comfort me. But cars in the road feel a lot more Wild West to me,
Yeah.
so I think of it as almost an apple and oranges comparison.
I think that's
Uh,
fair.
yeah.
Matter of fact, you've convinced me to just not use that stat anymore. Next time I see a person who's literally having a panic attack on a plane, I'm going to be like, normally I would tell you that it's safer up here than in the car, but let's be honest. Apples and oranges. Doesn't really compare.
Doesn't
So,
compare.
good luck.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, the best thing for them is probably like a Xanax or like, you know,
Either Xanax or alcohol or someone to talk to distract them.
yeah.
That's what I normally do whenever I see a super anxious person. I start talking to them.
That does that help? Does that cause?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure it doesn't fix everything, but at least like gives them something to concentrate on besides the plane.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
I,
That's true. I one of the things I used to do in my journey to like get used to planes was I would bring my Nintendo Switch and I would just try to laser focus
mm-hmm.
into the game. But yeah, it's weird because as a kid, I did go on flights and I was not worried about it at all. I just
Yeah, but you're a
wasn't.
kid. I mean, like we
You're,
don't even
yeah,
have a prefrontal cortex until we're 25.
yeah, yeah.
It's,
As we've discussed before, kids are dumb
yeah,
as shit, right?
yeah.
Um, so yeah, you're a kid and you don't know any better, and then you know better, and then things get weird. So it
Yeah,
it felt like it was a journey for me. So
that's fair. I think I share in the same existential dread as you. I think that's an existential dread that most people feel, especially in a capitalist society. If we're not useful, then we're useless, right? So
yeah.
uh, I think that's felt by most people on some level.
Hmm.
Um, but on more of a personal level, I don't know. I get a lot of flack for this, but I don't like um, wide open spaces, and I don't mean that in like agoraphobic me like ways. Like I
Yeah.
don't. It's not that I can not be in wide open spaces and be lose my shit and like have an anxiety attack, but it's the idea that like so I grew up in the panhandle of Texas, which is flat. I mean, it's just endless flatness.
Hmm.
Like if you look hard enough, like our famous joke is if you look hard enough into the horizon, you can see the back of your own head because it's so flat. Um, and so
Loops around.
that whenever I'm driving, so we have this highway between Amarillo and Canyon, Texas. I grew up in Canyon, Texas, and it's called the VFW, which because it's got the Veterans of Foreign Wars unit on it, and
Mm.
so we call it the VFW. Blah blah blah. Anyways, it's a road, and it's kind of out in the lesser developed part between Canyon and Amarillo, although it's increasingly more developed lately. Um, but you could travel out there at night, and you would just be engulfed in blackness besides your headlights or another car, like the tail lights of another car, in front of you or something like that. And
Mm.
knowing that there's just so much flat land and any number of things that could be out there, and they could literally come at out onto the road at any single location, like behind you, to the side, in front of you, blah blah blah. Like that is terrifying to me. I have never felt comfortable driving that road at night. I did it numerous times because it's the most efficient way to get home,
Yeah.
but it always put me on edge. It's a
Nice.
weird form. It's a weird fear. I know.
Well,
It's
yeah, that I think I think I understand like the wide open spaces, but it's so interesting that it like came about in this stretch of road.
yeah.
Um,
It's
that's
almost
cool.
it almost feels specifically tied to that road.
Yeah.
I think if I was if I was traveling well, take that back. I did have another experience, but it was also tied to deer, which anyone who has driven in country where deer are populous,
Yep.
and you have the sign saying "Beware of deer" because they're stupid sometimes and they'll run into the road, and whenever they see headlights, they stop and look at the headlights because they're very smart animals and they're very interested. And you hit them, and I don't know about y'all, but hitting a deer is not fun. Matter of fact,
No.
it could possibly kill you. They are stout little creatures. And so I was driving to Austin, Texas, and I took a back road because I didn't want to pay the tolls. And I literally traveled for about 40 minutes straight. And I kid you not, I saw the most deer I have ever seen in my entire life just waiting on the side of the road, their eyes blinking as my headlights hit them. And I was like, you fuckers better not run because I am going to lose my shit.
That is
Like it
so
was,
scary.
it felt like every half mile for like
Oh.
40 minutes. It was terrifying.
Do you think it was the same deer
No,
just taunting you?
no, I mean, that'd be awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
terrifying, but awesome at the same time.
Yeah. It was like,
No, it was on both sides of the road,
Okay.
and it was like, and so every time I saw one, I would slow down because I was like, I got to be prepared to stop if one of them runs out in front of me, and blah blah blah. And so that 40 minutes probably took a lot longer than it should have,
Mm,
and so
yeah.
it was. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the thought that something could come out of darkness onto a road and like either have me run into it or you know be like a Wendigo and like
Mm,
try to eat me.
yeah.
So yeah, there you go. Therapy session.
Yeah. I Do you have that same feeling when it comes to the ocean? I
Yes.
think I think on the last episode you had mentioned something about as long as I don't have to be in the ocean. So,
Yeah, I'm not a natural swimmer. I tell people I can get across a pool if I need to, but I have all the grace of a drowning victim. And
all right.
so, yeah, I'm not a good swimmer, and I don't trust what's in the deepest depths of the sea.
You should not trust it. No one should trust the
No.
sea. Yeah.
So yeah, I not a fan. No. I the most I will swim in is a lake, and I will stay on the relatively shallow end of a lake, but when it comes to oceans, yeah, I may go waist high and that's about it.
Yeah, I don't like getting into oceans because I don't like getting sand all over me. But sometimes I put my feet in. So,
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
yeah, I don't think I've swam in the ocean since I was a kid. So,
I feel like that's unusual for a Californian.
well, most of us don't live on the coast. I don't
Only because it's
know.
too expensive.
Yes, yeah, because it's too expensive. But yeah, this is true. I did live in Santa Cruz for a while, and I didn't go into the ocean like at all. And so that's maybe a abnormal thing about someone who would live in Santa
Hmm.
Cruz. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that has been existential dread time with Jamison and Blake. Uh, so
good,
we're
good sesh, Blake.
I mean, I feel like this podcast is turning into a really good therapeutic session for both of us. I mean, you talked through your fear of Luther Laser Lips a couple
Yes,
episodes ago, and
yeah,
I'm talking through my fear of wide open spaces, which is weird because it's not agoraphobia. I'm not like, freaking out every time I walk out the door.
Yeah.
It's very specific agoraphobia. I hope I'm using agoraphobia right. I hope that's the one that's fear of wide open spaces and not the one. Claustrophobia is the one that's tight spaces. So,
Yes, so it's not
yeah,
claustrophobia.
yeah.
I think agoraphobia is
I think
fear of the
agora
outside.
is Greek for city, if I'm not mistaken. Or,
Yeah, so this is actually so leaving one's home or being in places that it's difficult to escape. So that actually
ah,
kind of fits with it is an irrational fear of crowded places, even though that's not the idea. But
yeah,
there is a sense where you can't escape a wide open space.
that's true.
So it is connected in that way.
Yep, because it's just wide open.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's,
it never ends.
yeah,
It's if you were being chased by Michael Myers, like there would be no
you'd
hope
be
for you.
screwed.
And he would just
You would
have to
just hope that
walk.
you could just keep moving
Yeah, you would have to keep moving.
forever.
Forever.
And eventually you would get tired.
Yeah.
Michael Myers doesn't get tired.
No, he just walks to you. He'll just walk to
It's
you.
true. Now, so okay, real quick, because we've already spent 20 minutes talking about our existential dreads. Did you watch the final Halloween Ends trailer?
I have not watched it yet.
Okay.
I don't think I need to be convinced to see it. That's why I
Oh,
kind
for
of put
sure.
off
Yeah, yeah.
watching it. But
That's fair.
you did send it to me, and it was in the middle of me doing something, and so I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, I'll watch it later," and I never got around to it. But tell me about it.
Well, I'm not going to tell you about it. It's better just to experience it. But
Okay.
it made me weepy
All right.
because I was like, this feels final in a way that none of the others felt final,
Yeah.
and it looks fantastic. Like, I will be surprised if it sucks.
Well, I think you and I are in the minority on the second one, right? We've talked
Yeah,
about
yeah,
this.
yeah,
I So it came out last year, and I thought the first. So this is David Gordon Green's trilogy of Halloween that takes place right after the first Halloween, or does it
yeah. Like
incorporate?
some number of years later. Yeah,
But does it incorporate one and two?
I think it's technically supposed to just incorporate the first one.
Okay,
Like
but
as
yeah,
far as timeline goes, I think it makes references to a lot of the films in
yeah.
between. But
But so the first one, David Gordon Green, the director, got attached to it, and he got attached to doing this trilogy that kind of ends it. And the first one was
which,
okay.
admittedly, David Gordon Green was not expected. Like
Yeah,
of all the directors,
no one was expecting the director of the Pineapple Express
yeah,
to take on Halloween
yeah,
right after
no,
Rob Zombie spectacularly failed at it. Um,
amen.
yeah. So so the first one was fine. It was okay. It was passable. Uh, and then the second one comes out last year, and the reviews were. It wasn't just like, oh, this is a bad movie. The reviews were like, this is the worst horror movie I've ever
Yeah, it was
seen.
actively negative.
It was very, very negative. And so I was like, whoa, this is weird. I guess it's not very good. But my wife wanted to watch all of the Halloween movies. So she had watched all of them up until that one.
Including
Um,
the Rob Zombie ones.
no, I told her she could skip those. So she skipped those. But she watched all of them. And then she watched the one before this Halloween, um, and then we went to see it in theater. And I just felt like I was watching a completely different movie than what had been described to me.
Yeah,
It
same
was
here.
it was good, it was funny, it had good gore, it had thrilling moments, it had interesting social commentary, and it made me want to see how it ends. So like
Yeah.
to me it hit all of the things and I thought it was actually really good. So
I
I,
mean, really, the only criticism I could level at it is that maybe the scripting was a little bit cheesy at times, but that's a pretty small like element. So
yeah, but I mean I felt like okay, so it was kind of cheesy. Halloween movies aren't known for
yeah,
being, you
it's like
know,
compared to like I mean 4, 5, and 6. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like those movies for what they are, but they're not cheesy.
I mean even one like it's
Yeah,
not it one isn't that amazing, right? It's a really
yeah,
good movie, but like if
yeah,
you want to pick it apart in different ways like oh, the script is really good. No, it's passable, but what it adds up to is
yeah.
something very, very legendary and very, iconic. And I think that's maybe yeah. So it's not like I don't know. And I felt like the script and the dialogue it was very David Gordon Green, and I
Yeah,
was okay
very
with that
much
at
so.
that point.
Yeah,
You know.
because I actually like David Gordon Green. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I've seen a movie of his that I, actively disliked or anything like
yeah,
that. So,
same here. Same here. Yeah, so I had high expectations, which may be bad for me. But he hasn't failed me yet. So
it,
I've
it
got faith. So
yeah, you gotta have faith, faith, faith,
well,
like George
on
Michael.
that note, should we get into the movie?
Yes, let's get into the movie.
Okay, so we are watching Urban Legend. Is it Urban Legend or Urban Legends? I
Uh,
forget.
it's Urban Legends, Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary. Okay.
Yes,
So, do you have the wiki page pulled up so
I
we can
do.
inform our viewers of this
Yeah,
film, this
yeah,
cinematic high?
yes. I will read the uh, opening paragraph of the Wikipedia article to Urban Legends Bloody Mary. So it is Urban Legends Bloody Mary, but the first one I believe was called. So the first one in the series was called Urban Legend,
Yeah.
just one. Um, so Urban Legends Bloody Mary, also known as Urban Legends 3 Bloody Mary, or simply Urban Legend 3, is a 2005 American direct-to-video supernatural slasher film directed by Mary Lambert and starring Kate Mara, Robert
Mm.
Vito, Tina Leaford, Ed Marino, and Lilith Fields as Bloody Mary, a sequel to Urban Legends Final Cut, which came out in 2000. It is the third installment in the Urban Legend film series. The film follows a high school student who inadvertently unleashes a long dead spirit, and one by one, her friends begin to die.
So, first off, we need to notate this was directed by Mary Lambert,
Hmm.
who directed what?
Are you asking me?
I
Uh,
believe she directed Pet Cemetery, if I'm not mistaken. But
Mary
let me look it up
Lambert.
to make sure.
Let me see. I have. I could just hit the link, but which Pet Cemetery?
The original. Yep. 1989, Pet Cemetery. And Pet Cemetery 2, actually. Um, yeah. So she directed some okay movies, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what your thoughts on Pet Cemetery are, but um, I mean she's at least a known quantity in the horror community.
Hmm.
Um, it was written, however, by Michael Dougherty, who is possibly better known for Trick or Treat,
Hmm.
Krampus, and Godzilla, King of the Monsters,
Yes.
which was what made me excited to watch this one because I'm a Dougherty fan. Um, and it stars
Are you?
Kate
Are they?
Mara, or yeah, Kate Mara, and I don't know if you noticed this, but Rooney Mara is in it too.
Yes. Yes. She's a bit part. She's just a
Yeah,
little.
like a super bit part. Like you blink and miss her,
Yeah. I did
but I
notice
didn't
that.
miss her. Matter of fact, I was like, she looks familiar. I wonder who that is. So I looked it up, and sure enough, I was like, oh, it's Rooney Mara, the
Yeah.
sister of the
Of
lead actress.
Kate. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's some talent behind this movie. Like it's
Hmm.
not like just coming out of like the depths of hell or anything like that. Um, what were your thoughts on this one?
Okay. So I think I think my thoughts can, or my kind of overall aggregate feeling can probably be summed up by the Rotten Tomatoes score of the Urban Legend series. Uh,
Nice.
so the Urban Legend series basically has terrible Rotten Tomato scores, but the third movie in the series has the highest at a 40% Rotten Tomato
Which
score.
is just absolutely wild to me.
It is wild to me. But I have to say, that's, I think it earned that 40%.
Oh yeah, totally. I think my biggest problem with it was I think if they had had a better budget,
Hmm.
um, I think it would have actually been a pretty decent film because so there's the final scene you actually figure out who the adult version of the high school student who kills Mary, quote
Hmm.
unquote Bloody Mary. uh, you find out who that is in the actual present day, and it's actually kind of surprising. Like I
Yeah.
didn't see it coming. I was like, oh. I mean, they did a good job of misleading everyone to think it was the coach when in fact it's the stepfather. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm gonna give him credit. I didn't see it coming. So,
I did put that one together, but
are you saying I'm stupid? It's okay.
no,
It's
I'm not.
fine.
I'm not saying you're stupid. I'm not saying you're stupid. Um, but actually, on that point, I did want to bring up. I did watch the first Urban Legend over the weekend, um, and I was
And let
struck
me guess, it
by
holds up, right?
no. Uh, the opening scene holds up. I actually remembered that the opening scene, uh, that is actually embedded into my mind, and I was like, oh yeah, this is what happens. But the opening scene is really cool because so again, we're talking about first urban legend movie. Starts out
hmm
with a girl driving down the road. She runs out of gas. She goes to a gas station, and she must be in Oregon or something, somewhere where they pump gas for you. Um, but
At this point, I think it's pretty much Oregon. I think that's the only
yeah,
place it could be.
yeah. So she honks her horn, but this was also like 20 years ago, 20 plus years
That's
ago.
true.
She honks her horn, and then the attendant comes out. And who is the attendant but And this blew me away because I didn't remember this, although I was a kid and I didn't know who this was. But it was Brad Dourif, who is famously Chucky.
Yep,
So
the voice of
you have,
Chucky and
yeah,
Grima Wormtongue.
and Grima Wormtongue, and more importantly than any of those, Hazel Motes.
Motes. Damn
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So he is in the adaptation, the only movie adaptation of a Flannery O'Connor story, and he plays the main
Yes.
character, Hazel
And the
Motes.
movie is so good too.
It's very good. It's very
Yeah.
good. And I say that as a huge fan of Flannery O'Connor
Yeah.
and all
Amen.
her
Same
writing.
here.
So don't sleep on that movie. Just don't get hung up on like, oh, it needs to be better than the book or anything like that, because it's not
No.
going to be better than the book. It's going to be different.
Yep.
But it's good. But
And it's done by a great director.
yeah, John
John
Huston,
Huston.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So he comes out and he's all creepy and she's creeped out by him, and he like
He has like a
says
stutter, doesn't he?
he has
Like
a stutter,
yeah.
yeah. So he's stuttering, can't get his words out, and he asks for her card, or she gives him his card, and then he brings it back and he says like the credit card company is on the phone, they need to talk to you, but he stutters through that, and so she gets out, goes inside, and then he tries to lock her in,
Mm-hmm.
but she thinks that he's trying to attack her, and so she gets out, she breaks through the window, and he like chases after her, and she gets into a car, she drives off, and he's stuttering, he's saying no, 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 no. I'm not going to try to stutter. And then he finally gets his words out and he's like, there's someone in the back seat.
Yeah.
And then she drives off and you're like, oh no. It's actually really well done. That's the
Yeah.
best part of that movie. But
I remember that scene, and I remember the pop rock scene. That's all I remember from that film.
yeah. But the rest of the movie plays out like an adult version of Scooby Doo. And I was remembering, oh, this was a thing in the 90s. Like this was actually a thing that like Scream kind of initiated. And so
Mm-hmm.
this was trying to be kind of a ripoff of Scream in that way. And so I guess my point was I was expecting kind of a Scooby Doo twist, Scooby Doo
Yeah.
end, like unveiling of like, oh, it's actually Mr. Stepdad,
Yeah.
under the evil person mask. So I was kind of expecting that going in, but yeah.
But you got something less.
Oh no, it was fine. It was fine. I think I was that was a roundabout way of explaining like how I was able to guess that it was the stepdad and what I was
Gotcha.
like thinking going into it. But yeah, the movie was decent. I think I share your idea. Like I think you hit it nail on the head. If they had a bigger budget, things could have been a lot better. This was
Yeah.
clearly a budget hampered project.
Yes.
They it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. There were some good deaths. I felt like
Like,
yeah.
but given a better budget, it could have at least been a I Know What You Did Last Summer level film.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Like
this is
where it would have had some good deaths and, a decent reveal at the end that those who are smarter would have figured out. And no, so you spoke of some good deaths because I really think that that's actually where this movie shines. Um, Specifically, the what I call the spider death, which
hmm
a lot of deaths are based on urban legends, which is kind of the gimmick of this series of movies. is that they kind of take the classic urban legends and they play off of them and create like death scenes
Hmm.
based on those. And so, classically, one of the urban legends is the idea of a spider or a bug infecting your skin or face or something, and basically like it coming out of your skin, like it
Yeah.
basically laying eggs into your skin. One of the girls in the protagonist class wakes up. There's a scene during the night where a spider drops down, and you are like, oh, it's probably going to bite her or something. Well, she wakes up the next morning, everything seems fine. She notices a weird, like, zit looking thing on her face. She's like, ah, shit. Got a zit, because that's all that high schoolers worry about. Nothing else. That's just a thing that they worry about, period. No other pressures going on, just
Yeah.
zits.
Just
And
zits.
so she's like, ah, shit, zit. So she's like, doing squeezing the zit, and what comes out? A massive CGI spider. Now, the way the scene is executed is less than stellar because the CGI is pretty rough. It's it
Yeah.
it's tough to watch, but the concept and the way that they execute her ripping her face off to reveal more spiders, I like it. I
The
think that was a really great idea.
the
Like
ripping of
I like the execution was stellar. I just wish they had better budget.
the ripping of the face off was great and disturbing.
Yes.
So I do remember that at one point. So she's in front of her mirror and she like breaks her mirror and then shards get just jammed into her
Yeah.
face and then she uses those to pull her face off and it's so gross. But yeah. So
Yeah,
that was I feel like that was the high point of
yeah,
horror for this movie.
for sure.
Yeah.
Because Bloody Mary was not scary at all. Matter of fact, she was most of the time fairly laughable. Um,
Yeah.
it felt like what you would expect from a theater performance if you were at like live theater, but not like not like New York City live theater. Like we're talking like Fargo, North Dakota live theater. That's the kind of level of like
Well, or
effort they're
Tulsa,
putting into the makeup and like
Tulsa Live Theater.
ah I don't know, Tulsa might be a little higher.
Okay,
I'm not gonna
maybe
give them too much credit, but a little bit higher.
Chico Live Theater then. We'll we'll put it at
Well, I
that.
don't know. I've never been to Chico. I mean,
Well,
I would base. I mean, based on the name alone, yeah, probably.
that's fair. So this movie is titled Urban Legends Bloody Mary. We're talking about Bloody Mary this month. What
hmm
was the Bloody Mary connection?
Well, I mean, they were creating their own. And see, this is where I think that the movie had bones
Hmm.
because they were basically creating their own Bloody Mary mythology.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, they weren't basing off of some historical figure. They weren't like trying to tie into any of the ones we talked about in the first episode of this series. And so I give them credit. Like they were trying to create a more localized, like town specific Bloody Mary mythology in order for these present day high schoolers to trip up on and release her. And so um yeah, there was a really cruel prank ish that was done in 1969 to this, I guess, fairly unpopular girl, but she looked like she could have just as easily been one of the popular ones. So I'm not sure
Well,
what the.
I I felt like so it was a prank, but I think they were trying to drug these girls. I don't know if their intention was to
I
rape
think they were
them.
trying to drug the other girls, but I don't know about her. I don't know about
No,
Mary
oh, they gave her a drink. She didn't. They show her not drinking her drink,
drinking it. Yeah.
so that's why she didn't end up getting drugged. But yeah, they basically so they get um, assaulted by these jocks, and she somehow kind of gets out of that part of the assault,
Hmm.
and then she like runs off, and one of them chases after her, and
Runs
so
back into the school,
but
into the
also not
closet area
yeah into like a secret place in the school rather than where there's a tons of
where
people.
there is a chest with a lock on it that she could get trapped in.
No, so she
Man, this
ha-
movie is falling apart slowly as I think about
no, this makes sense. So she goes into this room, so she's chased and she goes into the storage room, and then she's confronted by the guy who's chasing her, and he's like,
it. Yeah.
"Oh, it's fine. We're just playing a little joke. We're just, and he's trying to like brush it off, and she's like, "No, I'm not into that." And then he like there's a little bit of a tussle maybe, and he punches her, and then she falls and hits her face on a desk, and and there's that classic like movie trope where like, oh, you hit the edge of something and so you're dead. Um, you know uh tables can kill, and I know they
Yeah.
can, but like it just seems to happen all the time in movies.
And you would have to hit it pretty hard to really kill
Yeah,
a person.
yeah. um So, and then he puts her into the chest, and he like
Because he
lock.
thinks she's dead.
He thinks she's dead, and then he locks it, and turns out she's not dead, and so she just kind of gets trapped in there with her soul, and that's kind of how Bloody Mary is created. And I do think like we talked a little bit about it at the beginning, at the very beginning when we were talking about Bloody Mary, kind of
Hmm.
having this misogyny attached to it, and how a lot of Bloody Mary myths actually come from a very brutal like violence attached to
Yeah.
women. And so this one, it does giving them credit, kind of they're creating their own, they're basing it off of that. And so she's now kind of haunting this high school where these people go to school. I think it's in Salt Lake City, which is
Yeah,
an
something like that.
interesting city to choose. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I think on that note, like I think where I was getting confused, where I wasn't sure that it was a prank and like he was just trying to assault her, is that there was that whole like prom queen. Like clearly he was in a relationship with the prom queen,
Hmm.
and she didn't like this girl, and so I was like, why? What is what is going on? I feel like there's more than him trying to get laid because clearly he's tied to this girl somehow,
Yeah.
and so she's in on it somehow. And I realized from the very outset that whenever they went to the present day, that the mom was that girl. I just didn't put together that the quote unquote stepdad was the original guy. And so, because he was a stepdad, if he had been the actual dad, I would have been like, oh, it's him the whole time because, it would have made sense. But,
Yeah.
uh, and so, yeah, like I said, I give him credit. Like, they were trying to tie it into self made mythology, and then they did what urban legend does. it creates death scenes based on urban legends. I even had the dog licking, which, by the way, was the
Yeah,
worst executed one of the whole bunch.
that
Um,
was a really unfortunate because that is a very creepy urban legend,
oh,
right?
terrifying.
Terrifying.
It's, yeah, humans can lick too. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not cool.
No, no. That would be terrifying.
Yeah,
My
it's
cats lick me, and if it was at night and it was, yeah. I think I could tell my cats from a human though.
yeah.
I, yeah.
I feel like it's a little harder with a dog because tongues probably are closer to the same size. Cat
Yeah.
tongues tend to be smaller. So,
Yeah.
but if you're in a sleepy state, you never know.
You never know. But oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, so I did watch it with some of my friends, and I have to say we've watched multiple movies based on Bloody Mary, and none of
Okay.
them seem to get the mirror aspect right.
No.
Because, like, as we discussed, Candyman never uses mirrors. Even though you're supposed to call him in a mirror, he always shows up somewhere else.
Yeah.
And in this one, my friend George pointed out when they called Bloody Mary, they were just on the ground. There was
Yeah.
no mirrors around, nothing. And it still, brought her about.
Yeah. Yeah. It's because even with the whole at least with Candyman, you can kind of vaguely tie a explanation together in that because he's being so seductive and he's trying to possess the person, at least in the original one.
Mm.
Um, Looking into a mirror and calling Candyman makes sense because you're calling him into yourself. You're
Hmm.
like, become me or seduce me. So it at least makes sense that they
Yeah.
would tie that together. But yeah, the fact that they Bloody Mary is the original game. Like Candyman wasn't a thing until the first movie came along. And
Hmm.
yet none of the movies seem to do the whole mirror gag.
Yeah.
Like you don't even have to make it part of the narrative. You just do it once and then havoc happens.
Yeah.
I mean, you can show a scary face in the mirror and you're done. Like that's all you have to do. Like that's it.
Yeah.
And yet they don't do it.
None of them have done it. I will say
No.
though, uh, Candyman movies did get a shout out in this movie, so
That is true.
that was kind
Yeah.
of fun.
Yeah.
In one of the first scenes, they do shout out the Candyman series. So
I did like the
I
skeezy brother though, coming
yeah,
in and listening to them and then looking down the shirt of the one girl and being like, nice. And she's
nice.
like, stop it. I was
Yeah,
like, that's a skeezy brother for you.
yeah. I guess they were twins. So the brother
Yeah.
and Kate
Fraternal
Mara's
friends or
character.
twins, yeah.
Yes.
Because she makes a point to call that out. And he's like, aren't we supposed to have the same thoughts and know when the other person's in trouble, blah blah blah. And she's like, we're fraternal friends, not identical.
Yeah, and that's why he ends up getting murdered at the end,
Yeah.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
she couldn't get she wasn't
Yeah.
able to, or he wasn't able to shine out to her. So
I like how you use the shine out there. It's the shinning.
the shinning.
Yeah. No, I really do think that this film. I mean, it's clearly the best we've seen so far,
It is
hands down.
hands down better than Candyman 2, better than Candyman 3. So, me,
And
although,
better than what I remember of Urban Legend and Urban Legend's Final Cut. Because I watched both of them.
Yeah, I didn't rewatch Urban Legend Final Cut, but
Yeah.
Urban Legend 1 was not anything to write home about. So,
Except for the first, 5 minutes. Yeah.
except for the first 5 minutes, and then it's, pretty
Downhill.
boring. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not very good.
Yeah.
So this is probably the best Urban Legend too. But maybe I would recommend this if you kind of have an afternoon to waste or something like that, or you're a completist and you've seen the first two Urban Legends,
Yeah.
But you could live without watching this. But
Or if you're just watching all the films that this podcast watches.
Yes. Which we recommend.
I'm kind of curious if he's watching all these films.
Nate?
God, I hope not.
Yes, Nate, I really hope. Please. No, I think
don't do this to yourself.
I think I warned him about the movies going into October, but
good.
But on that note, the next movie we're gonna watch, I actually think is a good movie. So hopefully Blake likes it. If he doesn't like it, that's fine.
This is the only film that only I have not seen.
Yeah, I did watch it, but I'll rewatch it.
Yeah. So we're excited for the next one because I feel like, I mean, it's a little I don't know. I guess
it's artsier.
It's like of the caliber of A24 because it's hip and cool.
Yeah.
And so it's recent. And what is the title of it? Because these long titles I don't get right ever.
Yes. So the next movie we're gonna watch is called "We're All Going to the World's Fair,"
which I'd never actually heard until you told me about it.
Yeah, it's good. It is a modern take on the Bloody Mary myth, as modern in the sense that it really kind of plays off of internet culture.
Yeah.
And so it will be interesting. I'm interested to see your thoughts on it. Yeah. So
seems like it's gonna be depressing.
A very depressing movie. It's a pretty big bummer. It works more as like a November or January type movie, based on kind of the dingy, kind of wet and dirty ground feel. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Very Eternal Snow Midwestern feel.
Gotcha.
To it.
Okay.
So
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I mean, melancholy is my happy place.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, since you brought up internet culture, I'm just curious because we have 3-ish minutes till we've hit an hour. I'm curious. Have you seen a film, specifically a horror film, probably, that has used internet culture well, besides We're All Going to the World's Fair?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's not a good movie.
Okay.
It's called, oh shit, I don't even remember the name. It's a terrible movie, but let me see. What is it called? If I could figure out who is in it.
Unfollowed?
Yes. Wait, no, not Unfollowed. Diane Lane is in it. I can figure it out based on that. So just give me a
Well,
second. But did you watch
now
Unfollowed?
no.
Okay.
The only ones I've seen are what's the first one that came out that was like uh friended, unfriended?
Unfriended? I don't think I watched that one.
It was I liked it until the very end. And then they did the whole jump scare bit and I was like, yeah, this is stupid.
Hmm.
And then there was the host something like it was the Zoom call one that was on Shutter, and it was okay. It was fine.
Yeah, that one was actually pretty fun, and
Yeah,
I had to appreciate the the you know the gumption of trying to make a movie on Zoom, and
I think I think it wouldn't work well outside of pandemic.
yeah.
I think it works especially well in the midst of pandemic because that's when it came out, and I was like, yeah, this I could see how this is like hitting all the cylinders.
Yeah.
Um, but I would be surprised if 20 years from now we look back on it and it's like a thing. So,
So this movie is called Untraceable.
oh, I've seen the cover art for it, but I have not.
Yeah. It is not I can't I I like can't make it work in my mind. It is not a good movie at all, but I can't get it out of my mind because the gimmick is that you have a serial killer who rigs a saw-like contraption up
Uh huh.
and then starts a webcam. And the more people log on, the worse it gets for the victim. And it's
Ah,
such an ingenious little like mind fuck for the audience.
well, it's a great social commentary too.
Yeah, but it's so horrible the movie. But like as far as using internet culture,
Uh huh.
well, I feel like that hook just gets it right. And so this came out in 2008, and I still think you could make a movie like this today. I think there have been some movies that have tried. Um, there was there's some movie where it's like they keep playing like betting games and it's streamed. I forget what it's called, but there's
Yeah.
something like that where like everything, the stakes get ratcheted up. Did you ever see something like the movie Cheap Thrills?
Yes. I saw
So I think
Cheap
it,
Thrills and Serbian film.
oh, I haven't seen Serbian film. Is Serbian film like Cheap Thrills?
In a way, yes.
Okay. All right.
It's all about how far a person's willing to go
Yeah. So I
to
think
get a end result.
I think there's an internet movie or there's a movie about streaming culture that kind of fits that. I forget what it's
Gotcha.
called off the top of my head, but
Well,
yeah,
and I don't know if you've ever seen BBC Luther, the TV
I
show.
haven't. Yeah,
So
my wife
there's
has.
there's a couple of episodes that revolve around this vigilante who uh, basically lets the internet people decide if a person who is like a pedophile or something lives or dies.
Oof.
Um, and it is quite possibly the most uh, well, the episode, the two-part episode ends with probably the most beautiful moment of sacrifice slash grace.
Hmm.
um, in the midst of like basically undeserved judgment. It's weird. Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's a whole thing, but it is based on a internet culture. Like people sign on, they see the video, and they're like, "Yeah, this guy needs to fucking die because he's a pedophile." Blah blah blah. And
Hmm.
Luther, who's this conflicted cop in London, is like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, but that's not the way to go about it." And he ends up saving the guy in a very powerful scene. But to, you know, keep people from spoilers, he pays a great cost for it. So, yeah, but that's the first thing that came to my mind when it comes to like use of internet as a means of social commentary and how we glom on to, I guess, some weird form of peer pressure, or
Hmm.
um, I'm sure there's a psychological term for it these days. Echo chambers, blah blah blah. Anyways,
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
things.
Well, there will be. I'm excited for us to both watch and talk about World's Fair. So,
Yeah,
um, looking forward to
sweet.
that. Well, Blake, it was good talking to you this evening, and the conversation was better than the movies.
Amen. And on that note, goodbye.
Bye.